The power of hope and how you can use it to get ahead in life. So, to give you guys some context, this podcast episode was one that I wasn't going to do because I was already done with all the podcasts I was going to do for the day. But a thought came across my mind, and really is more so like a gut feeling. It was more so like a passion, if you will. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. But this podcast is one that I'm doing off the cuff. I don't have any script or anything like that. I just really want to take a moment to talk to you guys. So something that I've been really obsessed with over the past year and a half is the Holocaust. And the reason why I'm so obsessed with the Holocaust is because of seeing how a group of people can go through something as traumatic as the concentration camps and everything that was happening to all the Jews and other people, if you will, during those times. And seeing a group of people go through tough times like that and come out on the other side, right? It shows that there's something to being able to go through tough times. It shows that people can go through tough times and come out on the other side. As a therapist, something that really stuck out to me was Viktor Frankl and how who was a psychologist, right? He was a psychologist and he went through the concentration camps. He talked about how people were able to find meaning even during those tough times, and that how by finding the meaning, it was able to help them to go through and survive during the probably one of the most roughest, toughest, horrific things that this world has ever seen. Something about hope, right? There's something to it that helps people to get up and take one more step forward. It's something about hope that helps people to go through paths and to do things that people would think you're crazy for trying to do. I also love talking about slavery. Obviously I'm an African American, so slavery really connects to me. But even past slavery, the whole civil rights movement is something that really, it inspires me. It's something that I'm always find myself studying, looking at, watching movies about. Like, it's something that I'm drawn to. And what happened with slavery, the Holocaust, and even the civil rights movement and many other movements was that there was a group of people who had something taken away from them. It was a group of people that were forced into a corner. And these people were willing to fight until the death in order to get free from this corner, from this suppression, if you will. Like, they were willing to put their lives on the line. And obviously, many of them have lost their lives. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would someone do this? Why would someone risk being captured, right? If they're a slave and they're running to the north, why would someone risk being captured if they just saw what had happened to someone who was captured, right? So if you've seen Roots, which is a real movie, you're probably familiar with the name Kunta Kinte, right? He was a slave that was brought over from Africa, and he tried to escape. And I think he tried to escape twice, if I'm not mistaken. And on the second time, the owners decided to cut his foot off. And he survived, and he lived the rest of his life with this foot that was cut off, if you will. But seeing something like that, it was amazing to me to hear and see that other slaves were still willing to break free from slavery, if you will, right? Something that Harriet Tubman, Viktor Frankl, man, so many other people, right? Those leaders, the people that tried to help break people free, something that these people did was they were able to inspire hope that there was something better for them. And it's from this hope, they're willing to risk their lives in order to see something better. Now, the person that's listening to this, you that are listening to this, there may be something that you're going through right now that's really, really tough, and you may not have the confidence right now that you wish that you had. I want you guys to be able to lean on not so much as confidence in your ability to see something in the future and believe that, hey, things are going to go well, but I really want you to lean on hope. It's this idea that, you know what, there is a chance that I can achieve these goals. There is a chance that there is something better for me. I may not feel totally confident. I may not have all positive thoughts, but it's that hope. Something in the Bible, and I don't mean to get too biblical for you guys, but something in the Bible that we've all heard. It's a simple sentence, it's a simple verse, if you will. But it said that the faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. Think about that. If you really believe that the faith of a mustard seed could move mountains, I don't think you would be procrastinating as long as you have with some of the things that you want to accomplish. That's why I want to talk about that in this episode. That's why I really wanted to do it, because sometimes I don't need to give you guys like a drawn out story or, show you guys all these hacks and things like that. Sometimes I need to tell you guys that really it's just simply finding that sense of hope. Hope is the one thing that I've seen that has lifted my clients, but also the lack of hope I've also seen crush a lot of clients. Believe it or not, a lot of my clients, they come to me because they're suffering something very similar, right? A lot of them have the goals that they want, but there's these up and downs that they go through, right? Whether it's emotionally, mentally, or even physically, right? With friends, or maybe it's their own, health. Maybe it's loved ones, right? Family members, like they go through things. And it's because they're going through this wave of emotions, these wave of things, they need someone to anchor them down. And that's where I come from. But the thing that I see help people go out, accomplish their goals, and other people stay stuck is just this belief that they can. It's the belief that things will eventually get better. So to really help you to cultivate that hope, there's a few things that you can do. One of them is the story that you tell yourself as you look back on your past. You guys have gone through tough things and have been accomplished or been able to accomplish really, really hard things in your life. So why wouldn't this next thing be any different? I've had clients who have gotten PhDs. I've had clients who have passed really, really hard licensure tests and certification tests and all this other stuff. I've had clients who have done really great in a business venture or in their careers, right? So why wouldn't this next task, this next goal be any different? I know it's new, but you have a backlog of history that will tell you that you can do hard things. And this will be something that's very, very similar. So once you start to look back on your past and notice some of the things that you have been able to do well, this will inform you of what you can possibly do in the future. Next, I just need you to be able to focus on the present. And something I said in a previous podcast was that I just need you to be an expert in the next thing. I don't need you to be an expert in the next 100 steps that you're going to take, because we'll get there. Just be an expert in the next thing and trust that this will definitely lead you to the next task that you need to complete in order to complete and accomplish these really tough goals that you may have. And I want to also tell you guys, there's nothing wrong with having hard goals or tough goals. Don't allow that to zap you of your hope. Because these slaves that went from, let's say, Alabama all the way to New York or Boston or whatever they went, that is a long way, especially if you don't have a plane or a car like we do now. But it's because they had hope. It's because they believed that, man, things could get better. I could make it. I could find myself in a place of peace. That was enough to get them to say yes and risk literally their lives. And all I'm asking you to do is maybe risk your pride, right? Maybe risk your self-image, right? And what I mean by that is risk being wrong, risk failing, right? Risk maybe losing, let's say, $3,000 or $300, right? Whatever the investment is for the next, whether it's coaching, class, conference, whatever it is that you need to get you to the next level, I want you to invest in that. Be willing to lose. And then last, another great way to cultivate hope is to find yourself around positive people. And here's the thing. When I say positive people, I don't mean that they have to always have positive thoughts and things like that. But I need you to be around people that simply believe in you and will speak life into you. Sometimes you may have to hire these people, right? They may come in the form of a coach or a therapist like myself. Or maybe it comes in the form of, let's say, a pastor that you have. Or maybe you actually do join, let's say, a coaching program. And you have other like-minded people around you that's not so pessimistic that things will go wrong, or that they're in some type of scam and someone's just trying to get their money, right? I need you to surround yourself by people who are bright, people that are willing to believe in you, people that are willing to help you. This is what Viktor Frankl did for the Jews in the Holocaust concentration camps and all that stuff. This is what Harriet Tubman did with people in slavery. And this is what Martin Luther King and Malcolm X did with people during the Civil Rights Movement. They were someone who the people would gather around. They were someone that the people believed in, and they were able to give them hope. So I need you to find your version of those people with whatever the next task is that you're going to go and compete. So again, this podcast was totally off the cuff. It wasn't prepared or anything like that. I just really wanted to speak to you guys because something that, again, I've definitely been obsessed with is the idea of hope, and specifically as from the Holocaust stories, slavery stories, civil rights movements, and so many other things, honestly, even different wars that I've seen, just throughout history, whether it's, let's say like the Revolutionary War, Civil War, whatever it is, even wars outside of the U.S., right? Like, it's this idea of overcoming something and now developing that sense of hope. So this is Coach Wells. Thank you for checking out this podcast, and make sure you subscribe to it so that way you can get more information and hot topics like this. All right, I'll see you later.